Okay, last video that I made was the slide veer, and that was just to review. Okay, let's say I'm a right side guy. I got my left foot up, my right foot back in my stance, and I would slide, literally slide the foot, and then step into the defender to create an open leg with this foot. I'll review it later on, but I wanted to talk about there's a brother technique called the stuff, like stuff into a bag or something like that. Okay, and we did this at Penn State. We were as tight ends. I was coaching tight ends at the time. We get a lot of six technique and seven technique and a lot of tight shade uh, nine techniques. And a lot of times we'd have to pass it to the tackle so that we could get off onto the linebacker. We're talking about C gap run here, by the way. Okay, and we get a lot of questions about the four eyes, and I think the stuff would be real appropriate. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move over to here and we'll. Over to the living room, and we'll block some chairs. Okay, hang on a second. Okay, and so we're in the living room here, and got a little uh, situation here with the sweatshirt. It used to be big. It might be me. Anyway, assuming I'm the right guard here, we're just going to go over the slide veer. Okay, again, I would have my right foot back. We were usually a toe to heel, toe to instep, and no further. So you would take your inside foot and slide it, okay? And opening the knee, it's not a big deal, but you're not really losing ground. I would open the toe and the knee, and then I would step to create the open leg. Of course, this would be a lot shorter, okay? And I would get the rock, and what we did was we carried with the shoulder. We didn't want to uncoil, okay? So that, to me, is a pretty good. It's a pretty good deal against yellow light. Okay, and hey, you could do it. You got green light, you know what to do. You got red light, you know you're gonna slow down. And of course, we're veer blocking here. We're on the back side of an A gap zone, the front side of a power or a duo, and we're trying to protect the A gap. Okay, I'm the guard. Now I'm going to fast forward and be the left tackle, and we're running C gap, and the read spot is ghost tight end. And now I have this foot back, okay, the left foot because I'm a left tackle. Okay, I got my right foot up. I'm in my stance, and what I'm going to do is we're going to talk about the stuff. Now, again, I got a guy. I'm going to, you know what? We'll use this instead of blocking chairs. We'll use this little puppy thing. Okay, you can't see the feet. Okay, we'll imagine. Oh, here's something right here. This is a good chair. Okay, so that's a defensive guy, and that's me right here. Okay, and I got a defensive. I'm the left tackle. I got a four eye. Okay, what everybody keeps calling tight. I don't know. I guess it's a new thing. And the question is, how do I block this guy for C gap run? Okay, and the short answer is maybe you don't. Okay, maybe you give it to the guard. But just remember, in the old days, we used to just scoop this. We'd scoop it, and everybody would be happy. And the defense got smart, and they would, as you go to scoop, the tackle would be tight, would attack the tackle, and the linebacker would play under it. The guard would have his shoulders turned because he's scooping, and that's how all this open leg stuff came about. Okay, so we would want the guard to shuffle over, okay, or scoot if he felt as though he could get there with a scoot. But the tackle was always the problem, okay. And what we would do to stuff is we take that. It's basically just a brace step, and take the second step and try to put it in the man's crotch. And what we want to do here is push him away. You want to push him away. That's where the word stuff comes into play. Okay, and if you could imagine a real four technique, okay, we're going to take that slide step, create the open leg. We're trying to protect the tight end. Now, the good news is, if you had you have a tight end here and no force player outside of him, that the tight end's guy is going to probably stay outside, but he might not. He might spike. So we want to go zone. We don't want any of those gotcha. You got him, you got him, you got him. I don't like the got block. I like the zone. I like the gap. Okay. So anyway, here's the tight. So, different guys play different ways. I would play it as wide as possible and look at the guard, but that's another story. Okay. Hopefully you're hearing all this stuff. So again, I would take that brace and I'd create the open leg. And to tell you the truth, in the stagger, if it's enough of a stagger, you probably already have an open leg. But the key is this. Okay. And you got to excuse me because I'm working on another hip surgery. The key is, again, to get coiled. Any of this stuff is great, but if you're standing straight up in the air or anywhere near it, you're going to get pushed around. There's a great boxing video that I've been passing around, and the boxing instructor talks about boxing in the pocket. Don't stand up and get pushed around. Well, that's where a lot of these ideas came from. That one boxing video. Okay, we used to talk about dragging the tail, but now we just talk about coiling. And what we want to do, okay, it's not this, okay? You want to push him away from you. You want to stuff him right there. Stuff him. Pin him, okay? And let the guard figure it out. Now, the guard, if he stays square, if he scoots over or he shuffles over, you put it right on him, and maybe he'll take it off of you. Maybe the guard will take it off you. Maybe you'll stuff this guy so nicely that the guard can get in front of him. And by playing long like this and pushing, okay, you're giving that guard good access. And the guard doesn't have to turn his shoulders. So if there is a run through, he can do it. He can grab it real quick. And of course, if there's a run through and this man's attacking you, it's very easy for you to transition to the grab, to transition to the hooks. This was the whole idea. When I started talking about playing long, there was a lot of guys that were saying, well, no, what about this? What about? I said, no, look it. What's the big deal? I push the guy, I pin him, I stuff him. He comes at me, I grab him. It's very simple. I mean, this is what, yeah. It's pronation, supination. No big deal. But the idea was to get him away from you so that the guard had good access. And remember now, when you're doing this on the veer side, you're carrying this guy. The tackle coming down to double a three, he needs a piece of this guy. But the guard on the C gap, if you stuff him to the guard, he needs a lot of this guy because the ball is going out here. Okay? And he's got to get on his horse and grab that thing. Okay? And you don't have to be in a hurry to get off. I don't want you up in I don't want you to pierce. Okay? I don't want you to pierce. I want you to hang on this thing and absorb this guy's force, make him splash off of you. Okay? And the word splash is pretty interesting. Okay, let's go back to the water balloon analogy. Okay, if I'm the rock and he's the water balloon, he splashes off of me. His force dissipates off of me. If he splashes me, I'm the water balloon, he's the rock. We don't want that. We want to splash him. We want to be the rock. We want him to dissipate, and then the guard's got an easy job because the force is we've dissipated the force. Of course, if he attacks the guard, we better be looking right here at the tight ends block because there's a good chance that guy is going to spike and the linebacker is going over the top. If he spikes and nothing happens, guess where we're at? We're in red light. Right? He spikes to the guard. Too late. Okay. Heisman him out. Okay. You're in red light. Figure out what's going on. Hang around. and then work to the linebacker. Work to the linebacker late. Remember, red light, we wait. We wait. Okay, we wait to see what's going on. If I go smoking out of there and pierce on that linebacker, maybe it's a corner coming from nowhere. Maybe it's a safety coming from nowhere. Okay, now in C-gap run, we have to count hats. In A-gap run, we're running spots. Power, we're running spots. But here we got to be aware of hats. But if we're running to a hat, okay, in other words, an add-on, we have an overhang, an add-on, a man on us. That quarterback better be getting us going that way. Okay, unless, and you know, I see a lot of these guys that motion a receiver in to block the add-on. Well, that's good unless the add-on's going to hit it. Okay, if he's going to hit it up inside, the whole thing gets a little funky. Okay, so I'd rather leave the wideout out of it. If the add-on's there, go the other way or throw some, or tell the tight end, you go block the add-on, we'll chase you, and we'll see what happens from there. Okay, does everybody understand that? I hope you do. You can't respond to me, so you know I'm checking to make sure this thing is running. It looks like it is running. So once again, we're stuffing. Okay, let's start again. Okay, I got a guy on my inside. He's yellow light though. He's on me. Okay, yellow light's a big deal. I have my outside stagger on the left tackle. I take that brace step. Okay, I'm starting to shuffle. Okay, but I don't shuffle. I step up into him and stuff him right where he is. I gotta make sure I got coil. I gotta stuff him right there. I'm turning the turret. Think of me as a tank. Tanks are pretty good because they can be moving in one direction. They turn their turret. Well, that's what I'm doing. I'm turning the tank is going this way. The turret is going this way. Okay, and because I can extend myself, I can do that. And once again, if this guy decides that he's going to come and attack me, turn it into a grab, tear his ass out of there. Everything's happy. Clean it up for the guard. The guard should go, he should be trying, the guard is coming to you, okay, whether he's scooting or shuffling. If he sees that man attack you, he should define him. He should go from grab to this, to hammer, and shove him and clean it up for the back and the linebacker, and make the linebacker come to the guard. Okay? It's pretty simple stuff. I don't know. I think it's very simple. Okay, but none of it's going to work unless you use the fundamentals. Okay, and the fundamentals, once again, you got to make sure that you're uncoupled, that you can move your hands without necessarily being tied to your feet. You can be the tank and the turret without, flailing and using your hands to move. You don't want to do that. You want to move with your feet. You always want to, again, move your foot before you move your weight. Okay, fundamentals. You want to protect your chest. That's the initial reason we did that and why we didn't ever do this, okay, or this or any of this stuff. We always wanted that to protect us, okay, the hands, or with the shoulder roll, okay. The shoulder roll will protect your hand, will protect your chest too. But in this instance of stuff, we want to play as long as possible, okay. We want to condense, and we want to make sure that we're stomping our feet. Now, when you're moving, you can't root, okay. We root to torque. You can't torque a big, heavy man unless both feet are on the ground. Okay, it's just the way it is. Okay, you can't torque somebody with one foot in the air. Okay, you got to, and then go. Okay, but anyway, we're getting into another subject, and I don't want to do that. I just wanted to cover this. Stuff them like you're stuffing a freaking turkey. Stuff them back in. Stuff them to the guard. Okay, keep yourself clean. If something changes, you change. Okay, make him splash. You don't splash. Okay, and you do that by having great integrity, the great coil, hands in front, the feet on the ground. Okay, that's pretty much it. I understand that Tony DeMeo used the slide veer talk, and I appreciate that. And we'll see you soon.